If you're like most people, it's been 10 months since you last put skis on and slid down a slope. Well, winter is here, there's snow in the mountains, the chairlift has started spinning, and I'm gonna show you how I prepare for my first day of skiing. I am Travis, I am a level 2 PSIA Alpine Instructor. Today, we're gonna go over how I prepare for the season and what I do on my first day to make sure I have a successful rest of my season. Stick around for my favorite tip at the very end. So before the season even starts, we can start checking our gear to make sure it is ready to go once the snow starts flying. So one of the first things I like to check are my boots. I will try them on, I will make sure that they still fit and that they are still functioning properly. So this is my boot that I've used the past couple seasons for ski instructing. It was always just a little too big. I felt like I moved around in it too much, and it was still that way this year when I tried it back on. Also, I cracked the shell last year, and that just compromises the integrity of the rest of the boot, and it doesn't perform as well. So I knew going into the season I was gonna have to get new boots. The other thing you wanna check are the soles. The soles do wear out, whether it's an Alpine sole, a grip lock sole, or even a touring sole. They do wear out over time, and you may need to make sure that it is within tolerances with your binding to perform optimally. You can get that checked by ski techs at your local store to make sure they're still going to function as they should. If not, you can get the soles replaced without having to buy a whole new boot. Besides checking to make sure your boots are in good working order, you want to make sure your skis are good too. So if you were good at the end of last season, you put wax on your skis for storage, like I did here. And unlike me, you probably didn't wait until August to do it. But if you put the storage wax on, you can just scrape it right off, give it a brush, and you're good to go. If you haven't done any of that, you're gonna wanna wax your skis, refresh the bases, and if you don't do that, feel free to take it to a shop and get it tuned up before the start of the season. After you've scraped and brushed your bases, you should be good to go. You may want to tune the edges a little bit if you haven't done that in a while. So besides preparing your body and your equipment before your first day of skiing, on your first day of skiing, take it easy. Be patient. Your body isn't used to sliding down a slope. And it's going to take some time to remember those movements. And you might get sore and tired throughout the day. So be patient. Do a good warm-up first. There's no shame in starting easy. The last thing we want to do is go full out like we finished the last season and ruin the rest of our season because we got injured. Also at the beginning of the season, there's going to be additional hazards on the slopes that weren't there at the end of last season. Come ski with me just on one run and we'll point some of these out. So you might have areas like this that just haven't been covered with snow due to water running and ditches. And so here it's marked, but they aren't always marked. And here, we just have a random hole right next to the groomed run. You can see there. And it is unmarked. I actually almost fell in that hole 2 days ago. You may also have ditches like this one, running right next to runs that are used to mitigate water out the summer, and they don't get covered up quite as early. So you gotta watch out for those. We don't want to fall into that. You can also get vegetation in the middle of the groomed runs, just like this, that just hasn't been covered up yet. That stuff can catch a ski really easily, so you gotta watch out for that. So besides ditches, like we get over here, we also may have just full bushes. Like normally, a few weeks after we open, these are all covered. Even those small trees, they're still exposed, and that's a good way to wrap up your ski. So besides watching out for the hazards and being patient, doing some drills early on will help you get reacquainted with your skis and help you progress back to where you were at the end of last season. One of the first drills that I like to work on is my stance, getting the balance fore and aft. I will also play with the extremes by flexing at my ankles. Also, I like to bounce a little bit once I find it, making sure to get my weight on the balls of my feet. A great way to find that balance point is to hop while skiing. You can start by traversing an easy terrain, and I like to start by bounce, 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 and hop. and upon landing, I will generally be in a good athletic stance that will help me find my balance as I ski. You can also do this while making turns. You can make a turn and then hop during the transition. Besides getting balance forward and backward, being able to pressure that outside ski and balance on it is essential, and it's a great thing to work on early on. One of my favorite things to do is just making wedge turns where I'm pressuring that outside ski and letting it come back underneath me. Another drill that works great for balancing on that outside ski and working on a stance are short turns. Here I'm lifting up the tail of my inside ski while I'm balancing on the outside ski, just to help get me used to being out over that outside ski and balancing on it. A good drill to work on upper lower body separation and moving my hips down the hill are pivot slips. So I'll be sliding, side slipping down the hill, move forward, bring the skis around the other direction. And it's key to move the hips down the hill to make it a nice, smooth transition. And one of the biggest things to keep in mind when your first day out is keep it fun. Like, it can be kind of frustrating because you're not skiing the way you were at the end of last season. Keep it fun. And so whether that's you like carving, going a little faster, playing in the bumps, going off the side hits, have fun with all of it on your first day. Just remember, take it easy, build up to what you plan to do. I hope these tips for your first day back to skiing have been helpful, and I hope that you enjoy your first day back on the slopes this season. And let me know what your favorite tip is for your first day back.